Hi everyone. My name is Navya. In this video, we'll learn about some important JavaScript concepts, including objects and functions. These are foundational for working with JavaScript in real world projects. Let me walk you through some simple examples so that you can easily understand and explain them themselves. First of all, we have object and object literals. Here I wrote a code and let's talk about objects. Object in JavaScript is a collection of key value pairs where each key is a property name and each value can be data or a function. So, in the example I wrote, I gave a string and declared it as Alice, and it age holds the value of 30. We also have a method called greet. A method is simply a function attached to an object. It can perform actions related to that object. We can access properties using dot notation. Here I use it console.log. So we are using person.name, which means the name string holds the ls value, right? So it will be printed as output by using console.log. To run this method we use person.greet, and also console prints hello. Let's look at another object which I wrote here. Wait. So yeah, let's see this object. Const car equal to, I gave it a brand name Toyota and something start. Here car has properties. Everybody has properties, right? Like a car has brand, model, and we gave a method called start. So when we call car.start, the console will print car started as we mentioned in the print option. So these objects help us to group related data and functions in a structured way. The calling or accessing of properties is so useful in this manner. And next up we are writing functions in JavaScript. So what do you mean by function? Functions in JavaScript allows us to reuse code and organize logic into blocks. This will help us to enhance code reusability. So three common ways is there, but I use two of them. Here there is function declaration, standard way of declaring a function where I wrote return a plus b. So here function is called, we gave a function name add. It takes two arguments which I give a comma b, and it returns their sum a plus b. For example, if we take add of 2 comma 3, then it gives return 2 plus 3, which means 5. So function expression, we can also create a function and store it in a variable like const multiply. This is called a function expression. Like it works in the same way, but it's stored in a variable called multiply. Here I stored the function values in a const thing. So multiply 2 comma 3, when we give an input of 2 comma 3 to the multiply function, it will automatically return 6 because it have the function expression. Next, arrow function. So arrow shorter is a shorter version for syntax. Here equivalent to writing a function expression but in a more easy way. So calling subtract 5 comma 3, it will automatically return 2 as we mentioned using the arrows. Arrow functions are particularly useful when writing simple functions, especially in functional programming patterns or when passing functions as arguments. So this each of these function types helps in organizing code differently, giving flexibility depending on the use case. At the end, to summarize this, objects let us group related data and methods, making our code cleaner and more organized. And next up, we wrote functions, right? So, functions help us to reuse code, perform calculations, and structure logic efficiently. Later, we used them and defined them in three ways to define functions like function declaration, expression, and arrow functions. So, these are some of the most important building blocks in JavaScript that you will see every day. So, here The use of the function should be used because it can create more code reusability. And thank you for watching this.